Hello, welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with the Diary of Anne Frank. Chapter 7, Internal Conflicts, June 15, 1943. Dear Kitty, the doctor discovered that Mr. Vasculigi has cancer. It was such an advanced stage that an operation was futile. So they stitched him up again, and he was kept in the hospital for three hours. Then they fed him and sent him back home, but they made the unforgivable error of disclosing to the poor man what was wrong with him. He can't focus on work anymore and just sits at home thinking about his approaching death, surrounded by his 8 children. I am so sorry for him, and I regret that I cannot go and meet him. Now he cannot let us know what is happening to the warehouse, which is sad for us. Mr. Vasculigi was our pillar of strength when it came to safety measures. We must hand over our radio to the authorities next month. Mr. Kleiman has a small set hidden in his home. He's giving us that to replace our lovely cabinet radio. It's sad that we must give away our big Philips, but when you're in hiding, you cannot afford to bring the authorities down on your trail. We'll put the baby radio upstairs. The radio is a great source of encouragement as it tells us not to lose heart. After a lot of thought, I've decided to drop the shorthand so I can focus on my other subjects. It's also because of my eyes. I've become nearsighted and should have had glasses long ago. I look like a dope. But people in hiding can't. The British have landed in Sicily, and Father is getting ready for a quick finish. Bev has given me Margot a lot of confidence to do. Not only is it a big help to her, but also make us feel important. Anyone can file letters and make entries in the sales book, but we have to do it with incredible precision. Meep has so much to carry that she resembles a pack mule. Almost every day she leaves to gather vegetables, cycling back with the large grocery bags. We long for Saturdays. Meep gets us 5 library books on Saturday, and we were very much of little kids receiving gifts. Ordinary people are unaware how much books can mean to someone who's cooped up in a hole like us. The only diversions we have are reading, studying, and listening to radio. Sunday witnessed the heavy bombing of northern Amsterdam with a lot of destruction. Entire streets lie in the ruins, and it will take some time before all our bodies are dug out. 200 people have been reported dead and countless wounded. The hospitals are bursting at the seams. We've heard of crying children searching for their dead parents in the smoldering ruins, and that makes me shiver. Let me tell you what each of us wants to do when we are visible to the outside world again. Margot and Mr. Von Don wish to have a hot bath over all else, lying in it for more than half an hour. Mrs. Van Dan longs for a cape, and Dussel only wishes to see his Charlotte. Peter wishes to go downtown. Mother craves for a cup of real coffee, and Father wants us to visit Vasculigi. As for me, I'd be so happy that I wouldn't have to know where to be in. I'd love to have a home of our own above all else, so I can move around freely and where someone can help me with my homework. In other words, I'd love to return to school. Deb has made an offer to fetch us some fruit at bargaining prices. Grape, 2.50 guilders a pound. Gooseberries, 70 cents a pound. 1 peach, 50 cents. Melon, 75 cents a pound. Not surprised that the papers keep right every evening in big fat letters. Keep prices down. Yours, Anne. July 26, 1943. Dear Kitty, yesterday was a hectic day, and we are still wound up. You might wonder if each day doesn't provide some sort of excitement. In the morning, the first warning siren went off while we were still at breakfast. But we pay no heed, as this signifies that the planes were crossing the coast. I lay down for an hour after breakfast because of a splitting headache and left for the office around 2. Margot had finished her work at 2:30 and was just collecting her things when the sirens sounded again. We rushed back upstairs together. In just 5 minutes, the guns were booming so loudly that we sought refuge in the hall. As the bombs kept falling, the house just shook. Thankfully, the drones of engines faded after half an hour, and the house throbbed with activity again. People emerged from his lookout post in the attic while Dussel remained in the front office. Mrs. Van D felt the private office to be the safest, and Mr. Van D stayed in the loft. We watched columns of smoke rising from the harbor, and soon the smell of fire was everywhere. The city appeared to be gripped by a thick fog. It appeared to be over, but just as we began dinner, another air raid alarm sounded. I lost my appetite the minute I heard it, but nothing happened. An all clear was sounded after 45 minutes. But just after dishes had been washed, an air raid warning was followed by gunfire and planes. Oh God, twice in one day, we thought. Bombs rained down to the other parts of the city, and Schiphol Airport was bombed, according to British reports. I was very frightened and thought all the time, here it comes, this is it. My legs were still shaking when I went to bed at 9, and the sound of more planes woke me up at midnight. I jumped up and stayed in Father's bed till 1. Then I was in my own bed till 1:30 and back in Father's bed again at 2. I finally fell asleep at 2:30 when the chaos stopped. I woke up with a start at 7 to see Mr. Von Don with Father. It was wonderful news, the best since the war began. Mussolini had resigned, and the King of Italy had taken over the government. Mr. Kugler visited us to inform that the Fokker aircraft factory had been hit hard. There was another air alarm this morning, and these alarms have been killed my sleep in peace. I've hardly slept, but now the suspense about Italy and the hope that the war will end soon are keeping us awake. Yours, Anne. August 3rd, 1943. On the political front, things are going well as the fascist party has been banned by Italy. In many places, the people are at war against the fascists, and the army has also joined the fight. How can a country like that afford to be at war with England? Our lovely radio was compensated last week, and Dussel was very angry at Mr. Kruger for turning it in. Dussel has gone down in estimation of him and is already below 0. His views on politics, history, geography, and other things are too ridiculous to be repeated. Hitler will fade away from history. The harbor in Rotterdam is bigger than the Hamburg harbor. The English are idiots for not bombing Italy to destruction, etc., etc. After the third air raid that just happened, I decided to grit my teeth and be braver. Mrs. Von Don, who always makes a presence of being brave, is certainly the most cowardly among us. She was shaking in fear and burst into tears. Her husband, with whom she is on good terms with now after a week's quarreling, comforted her. But after the bad news is about Mr. Kleiman. We all like him because of his cheerful and brave disposition. This is a constant even though he is in sick and pain and can't eat or walk much. Mother says when Mr. Kleiman enters a room, the sun shines. She's absolutely right. Now it appears they must go to the hospital for a difficult operation on his stomach. Stay there 4 weeks. He was normal when he said goodbye to us as if we were going on an errand. Relationships here at the annex are worsening, and we are quiet during meals, and no matter what is said, it might rub someone the wrong way. Mr. Voskuji comes to visit us sometimes, and he's not doing well, unfortunately. But his attitude of, what do I care, I'm going to die anyway, is not making it easier for the family. I wonder if people are so touchy here would be like in the Voskuji family. Another scary thing, the fact that Mr. Von Marin, the man working in the warehouse, is getting increasingly suspicious about the annex. He's known to be suspicious, highly curious, and unreliable. Yours, Anne. And that's the end of that chapter. See you later.